Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and today we're working in my Use It Up journal. If you are a new inklet and you have stumbled upon this video, welcome. How are you doing? My Use It Up journal is something that I've used them for years, and I've used this current one, I think for about a year and a half consecutively. And it's basically just a journal where I splodge some extra paint whenever I'm using a certain paint color or stencils. If I'm making a scrapbook page and I'm doing a mixed media background, I'll just pop some of the extra paint in here that I've got left over. Or if I've used a stencil in another journal, I'll pop it in here while the stencil's dirty, because I'm a lazy art and crafter and it gives me two backgrounds for the cleanup of one. I hate cleaning up mixed media stuff, especially stencils, and so this is good bang for my buck, time wise, I guess you could say. Not actual buck, but anyway. Today I am working on this page that already had some pink watercolory looking stuff on the left hand side, and then in the middle it's got a hot pink paint that I picked up from my $2 shop for $2. And on the right hand side there's some texture pasted pink hearts. Now the pink watercolor on the left, it's like a blush pink, but it's kind of a dirty blush pink. You know how you can get the blush tones that are a little mauvey looking, that it just has a brownish undertone to it. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't a huge fan. So I decided to grab some jelly printed painted paper. That's a tongue twister, that I had created over on Patreon ages ago. And I have been using the bejesus out of it. I've been sticking it on all sorts of projects that you'll see coming up. And I decided to cover up that left-hand side with a big chunk of it. And jelly plate printed paper is a fantastic way to get an art journal page done nice and promptly. And it also helps if you're the type of person who doesn't like getting messy every single time you do an art journal page. Sometimes you just want to do a bit of a cleaner page. Then having some pre-painted paper is a real must-have for your craft stash. I go through like binges of creating a ton of painted paper and loving it, slightly hoarding it, then forgetting about it for a while, and then rediscovering it and being obsessed with it, putting it on everything. I'm currently in the last of those phases, the obsessed and putting it on everything. Now, these hearts, again, they just had like a dirty, dusty, rosy pink that I wasn't a fan of. And so I grabbed some white gesso and I was attempting to dry brush over the top of them, just to kind of brighten them up slightly. I absolutely love texture paste, and I love dry brushing over the top of texture paste because it gets stuck in all of the nooks and the crannies of the edges. And so I'm glad I did it with this page, because it was really, really bothering me. And I think if I had left it, it would have irked me every time that I opened up this journal. So this journal is a Dylusions creative journal. It's the 8x8 inch size, and I much prefer it to their A4 sized one. I feel like it's just a better size for me to work in. It's smaller, but I also like the longer horizontal feel that you get when you open it up. I'm adding some splatters with my Liquitex acrylic ink and just going cray on the splatters. Splatters are really fun when you're feeling like getting messy, and they can be a little sporadic, so you never quite know where they're going to go. And I always completely cover my iPhone with paint splatters. There's not really a moment that my phone doesn't have some sort of paint splatter on it. These little flowers that I doodled on the page were just missing a little something. So I grabbed my yellow Posca paint pen and I'm doing the centers. Of course, because I'm doing the yellow on the top of black, they are looking a little murky, and the black wasn't really a fan of having extra liquidy paint added to it. and it smudged a little bit. So in a moment I dry these and then go back and do a second coat so they really pop. But I love the way this page came together. It was a really quick and easy page, and I've been really interested in doing pages that have these block sections going across ways. It's just a thing that I'm liking at the moment. And exciting news, this journal at the time of me recording this voiceover only has one page left to go. So once that page is done, I will film a flip through. I also have a flip through of my previous Use It Up journal, which I don't think has been up yet. But I also have flip throughs of other journals. If you've just come to this video, I have hundreds and hundreds of videos on my channel if you're after some arty inspo. And I just finished my Jamie journal, which is a journal that I've been working on over on Patreon, and it's my favourite journal I've ever done of all time. So that flip through will be going up in a little while over there as well. And because that page came together so quickly, usually I only do a single spread in a video here on YouTube. I decided to do a double process video for today. So I've got this longer piece of that deli paper, and I have a page that I've previously gessoed. Whenever I have spare gesso, I slap it in the journal as well. And I'm doing a style of page that I've never really done before, and I freaking love it. I don't think I could do every journal page this minimalist because I love the chaos that is stencils and collage and layers of paint. But every now and then I think I'd really appreciate doing a page like this in a journal, just to kind of give the journal a bit of breathing space as well. And this was a quote that I was copying into my journal, but it would be a great way to get a big chunk of journaling down if you are a type of person who journals a lot in your journals. Funny that. You just saw my head then. I've got a towel on my head because I was washing my hair in between recording videos. How embarrassing. I'm writing today using a new pen that I have added to my stash. It's a Pentel, I'm not sure the name of it, but it's just a really nice black gel pen. And I think when you're just writing straight onto white gessoed paper, the type of pen, the brand of pen isn't as important as the type. I think a gel pen just glides really easily across the gessoed background. And if you're having a bit of trouble writing in your journal, I would avoid ballpoints and stick more to the liquidy ones. So I'm adding my quote, and I was tempted to add a focal image to this one. I thought it would have looked nice with a fashiony gal over to the right hand side of the page, but in the end I just complete it with some doodly bits and bobs, and I really love the way this one turned out. Like I said, it's something a bit different. It's a bit of a different style. Let me know in the comments actually what your journal's style is and what your journals are. What do you put in them? Do you save your journals just for writing? Do you go crazy with the paint and the mixed media? Do you like to watercolor in them? Do you tend to keep it more like an artist's sketchbook, like an urban sketching style? I'd love to know what your current journals are, how many you've got. I think I'm rocking about 6 at the moment, and I'm about to start 2 more. Ooh, you can never have enough journals. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm adding a little pink detail down the bottom there to bring in the pink from up the top with my food pen. And then I smudged some of the black doodly line. So to make it look like it was meant to be like that, I'm adding some stitching type details and giving them a really, really good dry with my heat gun. And then jazz hands, we're done. So I hope you enjoyed this little double process video, and it's given you some inspo to maybe make some painted papers. If you want to know how I use my gel print, I have lots of videos over on my Patreon, as well as over 4 years worth of content. I think there's about close to 400 videos over there. So there's lots of goodies if you'd like to know more. Have a great week, peeps. Bye.